Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman. Welcome to Illustrate to Educate. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly, objective videos on topics that matter. Have you ever wondered, what is the Constitution Party and what are their views? Let's get right into it by looking at what sets them apart. The Constitution Party is the fifth largest political party in the United States. It generally promotes a right to far-right ideology on most issues. The party platform is based on the interpretations of the Constitution and shaped by principles which it believes were set forth in the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and the Bible. The party was founded by Howard Phillips, a conservative activist, when during the 1988 Republican National Convention, President George H.W. Bush pledged, "Read my lips, no new taxes." According to Howard, that pledge was violated during his presidency, and he formed a third political party. Their platform is built from these three pillars. First, integrity, in which they commit to restoring honesty, integrity, and accountability to the government. Second, liberty, in which they believe the government is ineffective and inefficient and encourage non-government solutions to the country's social spending issues. And lastly, prosperity, in which they aim to create the greatest economy in the world through capitalist principles. Let's first take a look at their views on taxes. The Constitution Party believes that the current tax system of income, payroll, and estate taxes is unconstitutional. They propose to abolish the Internal Revenue Service, or IRS, because they see it as an enforcement arm of the present unjust tax system. They do not believe that a flat rate tax, national sales tax, and value-added tax proposals improve the current tax system. Rather, they support a state rate tax, in which the annual deficit of the government is the responsibility of each state according to their percentage of the total U.S. population. They believe in taxing corporations due to their definition of income as an increase arising from corporate activity, and that people should not be treated like corporations for the purpose of taxation. What's their views on the economy? The Constitution Party does not support the government regulating the economy by setting wages or controlling the price of goods or services. By doing so, they believe is inconsistent with the principles of individual liberty and the free market. They point to America's founding economic principles of the free enterprise system, in which an individual was free to operate his or her business under the law without government intervention and regulation. The Constitution Party is opposed to public-private partnerships, or the collaboration between a government agency and a private sector company. Rather, they support a return to a true free enterprise system that they believe will make our nation great and economically prosperous. Next, let's look into what they support for healthcare. The Constitution Party opposes government intervention in the medical industry. They believe that the government's involvement threatens both the quality and the availability of patient-oriented healthcare and treatment. They believe that if the supply of medical care is controlled by the federal government, then the power of life and death would ultimately be transferred from doctors and physicians to politicians. They say that only hospitals, doctors, and other healthcare providers should be accountable to patients. They support proposals for employee-controlled family coverage health insurance plans, based on cash value life insurance principles. And lastly, they support eliminating the FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, blaming them for prohibiting beneficial products, treatments, and technologies here in the U.S. How does the Constitution Party view civil rights? They support policies which they view as protecting innocent life. This includes their opposition to abortion, euthanasia, or suicide. They support a state's option to impose the death penalty only for those who have been convicted of capital crimes because they have proven to be a threat to innocent life. The party opposes any government legislation to authorize or define marriage contrary to the Bible and states that the law of our Creator defines marriage as the union between one man and one woman. They do not support the notion that the LGBTQ community requires any legal favor or special protection. The party also opposes all government involvement of gambling. Lastly, the party supports the right to bear arms in accordance with the Second Amendment, and any attempt to make laws barring the Second Amendment is unconstitutional. When it comes to the education system, the Constitution Party believes that education is closely tied with religious faith, and it is the responsibility of parents to choose how their child should receive their education. They approve free market principles that drive the improvement of education, such as private, charter, and online schooling. They call for the elimination of the Federal Department of Education and current federal legislation like the No Child Left Behind Act. Lastly, they believe that the government should have no control over national teacher certification, educational curricula, textbook selection, learning standards, and personnel. Lastly, let's touch on their views on immigration. The Constitution Party believes that it is the responsibility of the federal government to guard, protect, and regulate the amount and qualifications of immigrants into the country. They point to the economic impact of the million-plus illegal immigrants that come into the United States and claim various kinds of public assistance, like housing, education, and Social Security. They also believe that the mass importation of people with low standards of living threatens the wage and labor balance in our country. They support restoring immigration policies that disqualify immigrants if they do not meet certain standards of health, criminality, or financial dependence. And lastly, they oppose any welfare or taxpayer-supported benefits to illegal aliens and reject the practice of granting citizenship to children born to illegal immigrants while in this country. Did you enjoy this video? Hopefully it gave you a good introduction into the Constitution Party. Please like and share the video, subscribe to Illustrate to Educate, and comment on your thoughts about the Constitution Party's political views. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos to the right.